Yeah, now go ahead.
All right. First of all, thank you for having me on, Coach.
I don't know what's going on
Hey,
with it, but go ahead. I got you.
it's all good. Hey, it's Monday, baby. That's how I look at it. But yeah, man, I say, you know, the draft. The more you sit on it, like we already had a, I think I already had a vision of how the draft was gonna go, and it basically with the vision. But I think I get the draft, like I said, a B minus, B somewhere around there. Shout out to your crew. I watched the rewatched the draft party for y'all. It was a good show. But the biggest thing, like I feel like when you look at this roster, when you look at this team, or when you look at the draft class, you got to think about the future. Like in almost the first four picks. That's all I care about. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. The first four picks were spot on to what it, for where we was at on the board for not making adjustments. We literally got what we needed in those picks. Now, I think the problem was I think a lot of people. I would just start with pick one corner. When the last time, Coach? When the last time you seen Marlon play a full 16, 17 games?
Since we was calling him All Pro Marlowe.
That's exactly. So is this, some people just, battle injuries a lot, and he's one of them. And the fact that it's just, it's almost like the Jimmy Smith to Marlon transition. And, hopefully, Marlon still got still got some of the tank, still got the dog in him, I hope. But like that's step one right there. You got somebody, oh crap, he go down. We always stuck with Brandon Stevens and the pool. Now pick two, it was an obvious easy layup. We know Rosengarten playing. He basically was a left tackle, but had to move to right, like we all know, because the quarterback was left-handed.
Mm-hmm.
So that worked out perfect. You got a future plan. You got a future plan just in case it's moving on from Stanley. Third pick, this was more of a, I get it. When it comes to Adiza Isaac, I still say I call that EDC's pick,
Mm-hmm.
which was wholeheartedly. We know why. We ain't gonna talk about it. We'll let it be. It is what it is. There was other guys that you could have got, but it is what it is, and I'll leave it at that. Good kid,
Mm-hmm.
but I just think like I'm not gonna crap on the kid's day. This is his week to enjoy being a pro.
Right.
Let it be. Now, where it gets interesting is Taz Walker. I think a lot of people are like, I don't know how they get up and down on that pick or whatever, but the thing about the Ravens, we always, from the past time, we always ask receivers to be what they're not. And the fact that we're asking Taz Walker, wide receiver three, to be a wide receiver three. We're not asking him to be a one. We're not asking him to be a two right away. We're asking him, hey, we're gonna put you in when they play too high and the box is stacked. This is your moment to shine, baby. Make it count. So he's in a role where he just gotta grind and just when opportunity comes, to make him count.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. So it's just, and then the running back situation, we know Keaton Mitchell come off the ACL, PCL tear, and all those whatever else he tore. And so it gives you that speed factor. So and obviously we already got an insurance policy with him. So when you look when I call it the big four, when you look at those four, you're situated. The rest is just whatever to be at this point. These guys are just special teamers, camp bodies. I hate to say it like that, but at the end of the day, every other position is already situated to his backs. Even with the safety, the Sione, the Sons, I don't know how to say the kid's name. I'm sorry. The last pick we got, the safety kid, right?
Yeah, him. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, him. Yeah, so like I said, man, I don't know what was your grade, sir, if you don't mind me
I did
asking.
B minus.
B my so we right there. So basically, without going crazy, like we really on the same platform, the same surface when it comes to the picks.
Mm-hmm.
How you feel, sir?
Yeah, I really like the I really like the first six. So I really broke it into two halves. The first
Yep.
six I really like. So the worst pick out of the first six to me was the edge guy But
Right.
upon going back and looking at the edge guy, because I looked at him more today, like extensively, I think he was better than Chop.
Mm.
And so I like him a little more than I did yesterday. Don't think he's great, but I liked him a little more than I did yesterday. But then those last three picks, I could almost throw up. And the center, he's okay, but I don't like drafting hurt people.
Right.
And that's the issue I have. Like the little film I've watched on him, he's pretty good, but I just don't like drafting hurt people because of our history with Ojabo, and we don't know, like, Voorhees may come back and be a beast this year, but we don't know what we're gonna get out of him because we drafted him hurt.
Right.
So
I'm right there with you. Like it's just I get maybe one injury or two injuries or whatever, but like you're basically losing a year of production off a player that's basically injured. I'm talking this close to being injured, like just like the Vortex where we just lost a whole year. And I understand that it can work in our favor.
Brandon
salary
Bazel
cap
has
wise
donated
down the road or
$10
whatever,
and
but
says, I
if
just
you're talking
wanted to
about
get
trying
cool.
to compete for a Super Bowl, like, you either all in or all out, when it comes to like, being on the field, and you're not being on the field, man, that's now we're stuck in the whole, I have to call it the Voorhees scenario where it's like, well, we've seen the way he was projected to be a second round pick, but the injury happened. So, but he's basically our guard. We're all hyped about him being our starting guard, but we don't even know it. We don't know a damn thing right now. We're just hoping. You know
right.
what I mean? So I completely agree with you on that. But yeah, man. Hey, I just want to say I ain't trying to hold it up. I know other people trying to get on, whatever. But all I want to say is, hey, thank you, Coach, for putting on, blessing us with a platform like this where we can talk ball. Share our thoughts and opinions, man. Make sure you like and subscribe. Shameless plug. See what I did there?
I appreciate
Tune in tonight with the gang, and gang it up. You know what I'm saying?
it. I appreciate it, G.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
and luckily I had your number so we can figure this thing out, and I think I got it fixed. I think.
All right. Awesome.
I appreciate it.
See, hey, I bought time, baby.
You did.
I
You did. Hey, it's a good filibuster.
Yes, sir.
Hey, appreciate you, big dog.
Anytime, man.
Good. All right, so I got a guy on hold, so I hope I got it fixed. Let's see. 3-1-2. You got me?
Coach.
Yes.
Hello?
You got me.
Hello?
Ah, yeah, I guess I thought I had it fixed. I guess I didn't have it fixed. I thought I had it fixed. I guess I didn't. Let me see. Push to talk.
Welcome to the conferencing service.
I guess I didn't have it fixed. Shoot. My bad.
I'm here.
You hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hello?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. It's me.
Hello?
It's me. For some reason my audio is not going through to them. For some strange
you did
reason.
fix it. You did fix it.
Okay, well go ahead.
You did fix it.
Go. Tell me what you think about the draft. He's probably hearing me on delay.
Can you hear me?
That's probably what it is. I hear you
Can you hear
fine.
me?
I hear you fine.
Yeah.
He's probably listening to the stream and hear me on delay.
Well, thanks for having us on.
That's what it is. Just tell me what you feel about the draft.
It's a little late.
Yeah.
What do you think about? Yeah, it's a delay, Coach. It's a delay, Coach.
Okay.
But I want to ask about what you thought about Wiggins versus Kool-Aid.
That's a good one. As far as Wiggins versus Kool-Aid,
It's just a delay, Coach.
I think they're pretty much one in the same. I think obviously Wiggins is the faster of the two. I think Kool-Aid has a little bit more impress. I don't think Wiggins sucks impress. I think you get a little bit more physicality out of Kool-Aid. But I really think Wiggins is the better DB. Kool-Aid had the better freshman year. Kool-Aid jumped out and was like a freshman All-American and whatnot. But But I think as they grew, I think we got the better DB in Wiggins. I think we're going to get a guy that, even though he's considered slender because he's like 6'1", 6'2", 180 ish, that 4.2 is really, really impressive. He got that makeup speed. He's got the ability to play bigger. I don't know if you saw him jam up Big Johnny Wilson from Florida State, and he held his own versus Tez. He followed Tez wherever Tez went, and he held his own versus Keon Coleman too. So I think we got the better of the two out of Kool-Aid and Wiggins. I'm gonna let it catch up.
Um, and what do you think about our top need next season? If you can hear
Mm,
in the draft.
our top need next season. It's tough to say because I don't know how. We're gonna have to wait to see how the season plays out because Voorhees could come out and be a stud. Uh, Ben Cleveland could come out and play so well that he'll be leaving, kind of like what Ben Powers did. Um, Brandon Stevens, if he balls out again, is probably going to command a bunch of money, and we probably not going to pay him. So we'll be in the boat again, need another corner. Um, I don't know if y'all read the story about Bateman, but Bateman finessed himself. If not, go find that story on Twitter. Bateman kind of finessed himself by not showing up on time last year. Um, so it's tough to say what the need is without going through the season right now. Anyone, hell, one of these UDFAs could show up and ball out. So we don't know.
And do you think that they got a quarterback in the draft just as an arm, or do you think our roster is just so deep that we just didn't need the last four and we just blew it because we can put them on the practice squad?
Um, Initially I thought it was just an arm, but I'm really thinking that Cunningham is probably not a quarterback. Because that New England tried to move him to receiver. We played him at receiver a little bit in the like week 16 or 17, something like that, maybe week 18. So I'm really thinking that Cunningham is probably not don't have a future at quarterback in the NFL. So we needed a third quarterback.
I only have one or two questions left, but what do you think about if John Harbaugh, if he decides to retire this year or next year, who do you think would take over? Do you think it'll be the special teams coach, the defensive coordinator if he kicks ass, or do you think it's going to be the offensive coordinator, even though he's a little bit older?
I personally hope it will be Zach Orr. I love Orr's energy. Um, I don't know how well of a coach he is yet, and that's me. That's just a personal hope because I love his energy. He's a young guy. I think he could be there for a long time if he got the job this early. Because if I'm not mistaken, he may be like early 30s. So giving all that job, he could have it for 15. And I hate to bring up the Steelers because we all hate the Steelers. But in my lifetime, and I'm about to be 47. In my lifetime, I've only known the Steelers to have four coaches: Noel, Mr. Spitz, and Tomlin. I would love to root for a franchise like that has stability. So I would love for them to, if it goes like that, give it to Orr and let him be there for 10, 15, 20 years. I would love for that to happen.
All right, one more sports question, and then I actually have a personal. But what do you think about our draft room and us selecting primarily, not primarily, but what do you think about us choosing choir boys over those with, questionable history, um, character concerns? That's what it's called. And how do you think about it affecting our locker room? And do you think that we should choose people with questionable character concerns over people with, not as talented, but they're good kids?
Um, that's a tricky question. Now, I think you have to have a mixture of both, and it depends on what they've done in the past as far as their character issues. Because it's certain things you just don't want in your locker room, like in their past. And each case has to be, it's a case by case situation. You all crimes ain't the same, and so it kind of depends on what the person did. If you want to take a flyer on that person, it depends on what they did, and I hate to say it, but how good they are. Because and we know, and I think somebody just put it in the chat box. I think Pay the Bills put it. Harbs don't want to have to deal with somebody that's going to kind of test him. I think that's why we didn't see Marcus Peters finish his career in Baltimore. Anybody that's going to test Harbs, I don't think he want to kind of deal with that. So that's kind of why we have the choir boy-ish guys. But you got to have some dogs in your locker room that's going to translate on the field. So it's you got to have a blend of thumb in there. Like Hendo just said, you got to have a healthy balance. I don't think we have a healthy balance. I think the one dog we got, well, I think we have a few. They kind of quiet, but the one dog we got is slowly coming out in our quarterback, and he really don't show it until we get on the field and he go off on people, and we really like Lamar is an alpha, and he's really trying to. I'm sorry, he's really trying to hold it in and stay level headed because he's the quarterback and he got to be on a certain level all the time. He can't like be a hothead, and he got to remain level because he's the quarterback. But Lamar is really like he's you can tell he's bottled up and ready to explode on anybody at any time when stuff not going the right way. I think you said you had one more question.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Lamar's going to show us. I definitely feel like Lamar's going to show his true colors after either he wins the Super Bowl or John Harbaugh leaves. But thank you for the call-in show. Hopefully we do it this Monday every week. And one last question, a little bit of a personal one, but I know you went on a vacation with your lady and you've been with her for a while. You got any advice for us young fellas out here trying to keep a relationship alive in these days of just craziness and OnlyFans and just bad communication? Thank you. You have a good day.
All right. You kind of said it. You got to communicate, man. Y'all got to talk, and I'll go ahead and tell you, I ain't the greatest talker. I still work on communication with my wife. You got to communicate. You got to you got to tell her what you like. She got to tell you what y'all like. It can't, because you're not mind readers. Y'all got to talk, man. You neither one of y'all mind readers. Hey, babe, I like XYZ. You got to tell her what you like. She got to let you know what you like. And you got to make a conscious effort to try to do what she like. And she has to make a conscious effort to do what you like. You have to make a conscious effort to sacrifice some of your things to do what she like, and vice versa. You got to sacrifice. Both of y'all got to sacrifice. But it's sacrifice communication. That's it. But the thing is, don't ignore red flags either. Don't ignore red flags, because I ain't perfect. I ain't perfect. I'm still working on myself for her. So, and I'm knee jerkish. I'm a Taurus. I'm hard headed, but I do realize when I'm wrong, and I'll be the first to apologize when I mess up. But I messed up enough to know when I see what I want, and I know that I don't want to lose what I got. So I ain't gonna do nothing to mess that up. But that's my way I'm at with relationships. I appreciate it. I got 3 guys behind you. I appreciate you though. Let's see. It's gonna be a little delay, so that's why I kind of pause behind. I got it. So I gotta let them catch up to what I got. Let's see who's next. My man Jared. My man Jared's next. So Jared, because you realize I think it's a pause. I think that's what my man was saying. So if you can hear me, go ahead with what you have about the add Dr. Love to your resume. If you can hear me, go ahead with what you got about the draft. I hope Jared can hear me. Can you hear me, Jared?
Okay, you said there was a pause, so my bad. I'm on the line. I didn't know if you could hear me or not. Basically, man, what did you think about and I know the other caller probably already talked about it, but what did you think about the Devin Leary pick? Because that pick, talking about and just pissed off, bro, like the way.
I think he asked me why did we pick Devin. So if I'm gonna assume that's what he said. Why Devin? I'm not really sure as to why Devin. I'm guessing as to why we needed a QB anyway, though, because like I was telling the last caller, I don't think Malik Cunningham's going to work out as far as a QB in the NFL, because like New England tried to make Cunningham a receiver, and
Yeah,
I think
that's it, coach.
and then Baltimore tried to bring him in and I guess quote unquote save him and give him another opportunity to be a quarterback in the system that we have, since he had the similar skill set to Lamar, and he actually played in a game or two at receiver for us. So I'm thinking that just in case Malik does not work out at quarterback, they brought in another quarterback to, hey, just in case. And looking at some of it, and I haven't watched tape on him yet, but looking at some of his numbers, he's fairly accurate. He's mobile enough, and he can be the third quarterback. And then Josh is like 6 years younger than me, so he on his way out. Josh done played for it's 32 NFL teams. I think Josh done played for 20 of them. So we got to start, and we lost Snoop, so we got to start, start trying to bring somebody in to be Lamar's backup. So, you know, and Kiwi said T picked the quarterback. So if that's true, if T won them, T got him, and we'll see. We'll see.
I understand that, and we potentially didn't need really a quarterback. I understand, but Coach, I'm gonna take up for the HBCU brothers, man. Like you got Davies Richard out there, quarterback from North Carolina Central. He fit our offense better than a Devin Leary. So if you was gonna do that, there's quarterbacks out here you could have drafted, but not a Devin Leary. Like you said, we ain't. Make competition for big country, big Cleveland, Texas, hard, and I know this, but we need maybe a wide receiver. Coach, I pinned you this about Jalen Coker before we throw. I thought he would have been. I think he's a jewel. You know what I mean?
Where did Jalen Coker go?
15, everything around. But Rodney Hampton got it. So I'm like these multiple dudes on that roster. So there was dudes available who could have been wide receiver, even the tackle, middle tackle. This make sure Rosengart, if I pronounce his name right, don't do like he's supposed to. So yeah, man, that's all, man. I'm not mad at it. Hopefully, we can make 6 down out of 6 traps, man. Y'all have a good day.
Jared. Oh, that might have been the issue. He dropped. He might have been walking away. He dropped. All right, let's go here for my man. Let's see. Let me unmute here. All right. Rave Kingdom. What'd you think about this?
Hey, how you doing, Coach? Can you hear me?
Yes. What'd you think about this draft? Yes, I hear you. It's gonna be a delay before he realizes I hear him.
Can you hear me, Coach?
Yes.
No, I can't.
He didn't realize it was a delay. All right. 501. I hear you, but it's a delay. So go ahead and tell me what you think about the draft. And you're probably gonna hear this maybe 10 seconds later than I say it. Why is it a delay though? That's what I gotta figure out. That's what I gotta figure out. And somebody hear me.
Yeah, so I thought the draft was cool. I'll say in the beginning, I was like, okay, what are we doing? Wasn't really sure about where we're going. But then as I went and looked back at some of the guys, I was like, okay, I can get down with the cornerback. Really wanted us to get an offensive lineman. the third round, Adisa Isaac, I was like, oh, wasn't really sure about that one. And just like everybody else saying, the quarterback, I was like, okay, what are we doing here? I was completely lost with that pick. And I know some people don't like the running back, but I think the running back was necessary given our current state of running back. So I think overall we did okay. But I just felt like we could have did a little better, especially in some cases.
Do you think when you say we could have done better, are you specifically like a lot of people thinking about as far as the O line? Because me personally wanted more O linemen, but I think the way the board fell, if we would have picked O line in certain spots, we would have gotten guys that weren't good value at the picks.
Yeah, I think it is stemming from like wanting more O linemen. Like I really wanted us to get Christian Hayes, the guy at UConn, but he went to Seattle right before us. So I'm just like, okay. And so I guess that was my main thing. I really wanted us to get some O line help and really help out Lamar up front. And then I like Tez Walker, but I would have hoped we got like Baker. But I know Baker went to New England a couple picks ahead of us. So I guess that's my only thing is an O lineman, more O lineman just to help build out the stable for Lamar.
Yeah, as far as the O line, like you said, like I said, I really wanted more O line. At this point, I just gotta trust that Voorhees is what a lot of people think he is. I personally don't know. He took the year off to get healthy, which now hopefully is a good thing. I hope Ben Cleveland is what I see in little spurts. Hopefully he can do that for a whole year. And hopefully Rosengarten can hold down the right tackle spot, or Falele, whoever wins that job. But I mean, the guy I thought we could get help with, Mekhi Becton, got picked up immediately as soon as the draft was over with. So now we just gotta hope the guys that we got can protect Lamar, because ain't much left out there to go get. They say June 1st cut's coming up, but I don't know what we can get out of that because we don't have a lot of money. I forgot about Riser.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And to the Mekhi Becton point, I was hoping we picked him up before the draft, but we just kind of sat on it. So I don't know, man. I just felt like we're kind of rolling the dice with the guys we have because a lot of them are unproven. And I just don't want us to get in the same situation where we're talking about Lamar ain't got no protection. And, he can't he can't show up as the best Lamar possible.
Agreed. I feel you. Well, the good thing about it is we've had bad O line play for a while, so hopefully, that doesn't hurt us as much as we've had because Ronnie will be probably as healthy as he's been in a while. Tyler Linderbaum is probably one of the better centers in the game, and hopefully they can get those guys in shape. Well, not in shape, but like teach those guys what they need because running outside inside zone is a lot easier than running a lot of power and counter. So hopefully that helps us out with not needing to have these. Getting a hat on a hat is a lot easier than running power and counter. That scheme is a lot easier, and you don't have to have these big mauling, bruising guys to do that. So hopefully, and Keaton is good at it. Derrick Henry's good at it, and it sets up your boot action game out with Lamar. And we don't even know how good Lamar can be off boot stuff yet because we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I know you got some other people behind me, so it's a good conversation, man. Just say it's my first time joining the call, and I say, man, I enjoy your show. You teach me a lot of football knowledge, so keep up the good work, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And hopefully I get this delay fixed, whatever it is. But the funny thing about it is the only way I can fix it is to be on here. So I got to figure it out some kind of way. And I thank you for calling, though. Let's see. I think my man Marcus is next. So Marcus, you're up. So whenever you hear me, just go ahead and tell me, what you think about the draft.
Hey, Coach, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, Coach, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I give the draft about a C plus. I think we did pick up some good players. The top, I say the 3 out of 4 I did like Wiggins and Rosenberg, but I think we got Isaac just because David Ajabo, we don't know about his situation right now, so I think that was just an extra pickup for insurance-wise. I do like the Tez Walker pick because it don't automatically put him as the number 1, number 2 receiver, put him more as the 3 or 4, and I think it will help Bateman a lot to do more of the intermediate underneath routes instead of keep going with the deep passes that we've been doing last year, because a lot of people been saying that their connection, Bateman and Lamar connection, been off. But if you look at Bateman first year when he first came back, and you did a game actually about Bateman first game, I think it's the Chargers, and you see what routes they was running, had Bateman running, and the connection was there. And you showed the footage against Miami of 2021 where him and Bateman had a connection. And even 2022, the first 4 games, they had a very good connection. But I think this year, last year was their connection bad, one, because of, the injuries, Lamar contract, I think also trying to force feed Zay and OBJ. I think that's really was the cause for that misconnection for Bateman. But I think the connection of Bateman will be good. I think the Walker kid is going to be the deep threat that we really need, the explosive playmaker that we need. I think who the other kid, TJ Tampa, I didn't really see tape on him, but I know he's a 6'2" type corner that is huge. That is, a huge corner. And I think it's mainly for a boundary corner when Marlin or if Brandon Stevens don't come back next year, and because we know Jalen Armour Davis always in the doctor's office every time. So I think that's a few points I get from the draft. I understand people is kind of upset with the quarterback, but we need a backup quarterback anyway. So we can't really look at that in that type of way. So overall, I give it about a C plus, a B, solid B.
Yeah, those are all good points, man. I think what as far as Tez, my personal opinion, Tez need to give us about 25, 30, 35 catches, 500 yards, have a high yards per catch thing. Just take the top off the defense and let everybody else work underneath. I think he should be competing with Nelson Aguilar for reps, maybe Bateman for reps, and like nothing extravagant. Just you are our deep ball guy. You are our, like, when they try to take away the run game, we putting you out there. You can get over the top, and you open this stuff up for Mark, Likely, Zay, and everything else. You are a deep ball guy. That's what you are. And he's a one trick pony.
Christian Watson. I think he's gonna be like a Christian Watson for us.
Yes, exactly. That's a perfect compliment. You Christian Watson. You go deep. You take the top off, and let all these other guys do the underneath stuff. Exactly. Malik said Mike Wallace 2.0. That's great compliment. I think that might be all he got. I think.
And and my last point to also is with the Rosenberg. I think his last name was Rosengardner or Rosenberg.
Something like that.
Well, I'm gonna get his name correct. I think he is our, like, the first O-line that we picked in the last 5 years who is actually excellent in pass pro blocking. And that's how the scheme is changing to more passing wise. Because if you look at the past O-line that we drafted in the years past, starting from Orlando Brown, who is a run blocker, who Powers run blocker, Tyree Phillips run blocker, Ben Cleveland run blocker. We've been getting run blockers to fit the Greg Roman scheme. By now, I think they trying to move to that where we could draft and pick up O-lineman that more fitting of that pass pro, because we never really have linemen to do pass pro blocking. That's why every time Lamar go back and pass the last 5 years, he's been getting running around, because they never got O-lineman that is groomed, was ever groomed or ever really taught this new pass pro type of blocking. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I think the scheme is moving away from Roman's power run stuff, and in the process, because in the NFL you can't just change everything out. Like Dion, changed 85 players. In NFL you can't do that. You have to slowly change your players to fit the scheme, and I think that's what the Ravens are doing. Like Ronnie can do both. Ronnie can be a road grader and he can be a pass blocker, but he just needs to be healthy. Tyler Linderbaum is more of a zone blocker, and you see that. Rosengardner, or however you say it, is more of a pass blocker and a zone player. You saw that. Zeitler was more of a power blocker, so that's why I think they didn't bring him back. Ben Cleveland, even though he probably is going to start at right guard, he's more of a run, so his time is probably limited. This is probably going to be a 1 year thing with Cleveland, probably. But thing with Cleveland got decent feet, so we'll see. As big as Cleveland is, Cleveland got some decent feet, but we'll see. Now, whoever wins that left guard spot.
Yeah, because I think Jones is. Yeah, because Jones, who we picked up, I think he's more a pass blocker too. You can look at his body type; he's more pass blocking offensive lineman. I think he's gonna be fighting Voorhees or Cleveland for that guard position.
And I was gonna say, I don't know what kind of feet Voorhees got, but him and Jones may win that. Him and Jones and Voorhees gonna fight for the left guard spot, and Jones may win it because of his feet.
Yep, and also people are thinking we're going to still do the back onto three cornerback, put Marlon in the slot. But people forget Brandon Stevens was a safety, so we still got that three safety defense going on.
Yep.
Yep. And also people are thinking we're going to still do the
Hey, that's all you got for me, Marcus.
But yeah, that's it, Coach. I think we have a decent. Yeah, I think that's it, Coach. I think we had a decent draft. I think Nate Wiggins going to be a huge contributor. Him and Walker and our offensive lineman going to be a huge contributor. But everybody else is going to be rotational pieces. But I think we still got three main dudes that we could have main contributors: Walker, Rosenberger, and Wiggins. I think Wiggins going to be a sneaky pick for us, a real good pick for us.
I agree.
All right, Coach. See you later.
I appreciate you. All right, we got two more. All right, Dr. DDSQ is on the line, and it's going to be a delay. So go ahead and tell me what you feel about the draft, and I'll wait. Wait a couple seconds so you can hear what it can catch up. And these going to be the last two, so let me go ahead and lock it.
The conference has been locked.
Can you hear me, Coach?
Yep.
Coach, can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me, Coach?
Yep. It's a delay for some reason.
Can you hear me, Coach?
Yep.
Coach?
Yep.
Coach?
Yep. Let me put it in the chat.
Okay, gotcha. What I'm saying, I can't hear you on my end. That's why it's a delay. But I'll go and get to it. First of all, good to talk to you. Just calling to check in with you. Just an FYI, the first round pick, Nate Wiggins, my LG taught him at Westlake, called Nasty Nate. So that might be his new nickname with you guys, man. I'm not really a big draft guy because I don't necessarily watch a lot of college football anymore. I kind of follow through you guys, man. Hopefully, some of the guys that he brought in, Tez Walker, can help a little bit. A rookie cornerback, I'm not sure what kind of impact he'll have on the defense, but hopefully, when it comes down to it, you need a third down stop. Hopefully, somebody will be on somebody to give him a stop. In terms of the O-line, I'm not sure how that's going to look when you got three to five O-linemen who are not necessarily unproven. You know what I'm saying? They haven't proven themselves. Hopefully, you can add somebody that can kind of short it up a little bit. But I don't know. It wasn't necessarily what you want. You don't want to necessarily get a quarterback, especially a quarterback so different than Lamar in the 6th round. But 9 times out of 10, he's probably not going to make that big of an impact anyway. Hopefully Lamar plays off at least 16 out of 17 since out the last game because you guys already got you lock up the number 1 seed, man. But looking forward to the off season, man. Hopefully it's going to be a big year for you guys, man. Hopefully you called it last year with saying that Zay kind of reminds you of AB. I didn't really see it, but he take that step. He actually had a better rookie season than AB did. So hopefully he steps up. Hopefully Tez gives you something, and Bate lives up to what he did, man. You get anything out of Tez, Bate gives you half of what you expected from him, maybe 800 to 900 yards. And I was kind of looking at I'm a stats guy. I was kind of looking at San Francisco, and even though San Francisco, along with Baltimore, were the bottom two as far as pass attempts, but if you can spread the distribution out that way. Maybe, Zay gets 100 targets, Mark Andrews gets 100, the next guy gets 80, next guy gets 80, next guy gets 70, get Lamar a little bit over 4,000 yards passing, maybe around 500 to 600 yards rushing, and Henry over 1,000, And whatever you get from the other guys to keep Lamar healthy going into the playoffs, I think you guys are on to something, man. I don't think the defense is going to be as good as last year, but I don't think it's going to make a step back as far as you might think it is. And I think also, man, I mean, it's kind of frustrating because me being a Bucs fan, we've gone for it twice. We've won, but we never had the sustained success as you have. You could tell with this draft, they were looking more for 24 and 25. I mean, 25 and 26, and not necessarily trying to win this year. And I think their hope is we're going to be competitive, not necessarily going for the Super Bowl, but being competitive every year, and hopefully you get lucky. It may work, it may not work. You would love for them to go for it and get it, but that's just not what the Ravens are. But y'all got 2 Super Bowls. That's 2 more than a lot of teams in the NFL. But you hate to see Lamar's career wasted. Hopefully they do what they need to do, man. But we'll see, man. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I didn't think about it like that, but because he said that, that makes a lot of sense that they're looking for like sustained longevity. I that makes a lot of sense with some of those picks. As far as, man, that makes a lot of sense. That's crazy that they projecting and stuff like that. Let him turn me down. Turn me down in the background. A lot of things with some of those picks. As far as, now I'm gonna keep going. So as far as the when you look at some of the guys they pick, they not gonna play right now.
Yeah,
but they eventually will be wrong.
So I'm gonna hang up and let the other guys go.
Okay. I'm gonna finish answering this question. They really did draft for the future, for sustained being able to compete. Now that I look at it, because that's what the edge guy was for. That's what Mac, or however you say his name, the center from Michigan State, was for. That's probably what the safety was for, because Marcus will be gone soon. I didn't think about that until DDSQ said that. That makes a ton of sense. And then as far as with him being a Bucs fan, they had a fairly decent draft too, because I was looking at it earlier when I was looking at like all the draft classes for everybody. The Bucs, y'all had a decent draft too down there, Q. Man, that made a lot of sense when he said that. And I didn't think about that at all. You draft for sustained excellence, and then you just hope to get lucky and make a run. It's like a light bulb moment for me. Wow. Okay. All right, we got one more call. So, last caller. Remember, there's a delay. So you can once I unmute you, you can go ahead and say what you got to say about the draft or ask your question. And remember, my answer is going to be a little bit delayed. So once you get unmuted, you can go ahead and say what you need to say if you have a question, or go ahead and talk about the draft. All right, there you go. Quiz. See if you got me. Quiz, you got me? Maybe Quiz don't have me. All right, people. So I appreciate it. I'm going to run through these picks real quick and give you my 2 cents on it. And we'll get up out of here. You know, we had a round table tonight at 9, and everybody have their, talk about their opinions of the picks. So make sure you check in for that. But I'm gonna just run through it. Let me get to them real quick because I don't want to misstate on any of these picks. 1 second. Let me get to it. Give me 1 second. Nope. Don't want to do that. All right, here we go. All right, bring myself back up. All right, Nate Wiggins, cornerback from Clemson. Roger Rosengarten, Washington, the tackle. Adisa Isaac, which was my first questionable pick, but it's growing on me. Devontae Walker from Carolina. To me, that was my favorite pick. I don't know how you guys feel, but that was my favorite pick. TJ Tampa from Iowa State. That's that for the future. I think that's where that for the future comes in. Rasheen Ali for the future. Because you look at Rasheen Ali and Keaton Mitchell for the future. Because, Derrick Henry probably got a year or two. Justice Hill may hang around a little while. May hang around for a little while. Devin Leary probably just gonna be the backup. Samak, however you say his name, I'm probably butchering it. Future, and Kane, the safety Kane, probably for the future. So, and again, that didn't dawn on me until DDSQ said it, but yeah, you draft for the future, and hopefully you make a run with good players. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that at all. But again, when you think about, we drafted 2 cornerbacks. If Brandon Stevens balls out again, he probably gone. Because his contract is up this year, like after this year. And then Marlowe with that big contract, he not getting big money from us again. So, but I gotta take a look at the UDFAs. Sebastian had mentioned them to me a couple times. He said a bunch of them offensive linemen, but I'm gonna take a look at them and kind of just get a general feel for who they are and what they play and whatnot. But I did see somebody said we had Emery from UF, and I at one point he was supposed to be good. But I know AR took his job. Anthony Richardson took his job. So that's what I got, man. And make sure you guys tune in to the roundup tonight. We'll get a little bit more into detail about the picks, and you'll get to hear everybody's 2 cents on the different picks, and we'll go from there, man. So I appreciate everybody for coming out. If you have not hit that like button, please do so. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and do so. And shout out Bazel for dropping 10. Shout out for Bazel for dropping 10.
Respect. It's a respect thing.
Shout out for Malik for dropping 10. See if Malik's gonna pop up. Should. Appreciate you, Malik. Appreciate you, Osmond too, for dropping 10 when we first jumped on. Appreciate you guys, man. Much love for all y'all, and I'll see y'all soon.
It's a respect thing.